Hi, and welcome to the MySG Prop Podcast, your weekly dose of smart property investing insights, right here from Singapore to the region. I'm Rainey, and I'm super excited to dive into today's market pulse.
And I'm CS. Good to be back. And yes, Rainey, today being January 5th, 2026, we've got a really interesting weekly update from Hutton's, covering market trends, statistics, research, and studies. It's definitely a good one for anyone keeping an eye on the property scene.
Oh, a market pulse. That's exactly what we need, especially with all the talk about property prices. So CS, what's the biggest headline that caught your eye this week?
Well, the hot news of the week certainly kicked things off. It states that HDB resale prices were up by 2.9% in 2025, marking the slowest growth since 2019.
2.9%? That's quite a dip in growth, isn't it? I mean, we've seen some pretty aggressive hikes in recent years. What's driving this slowdown?
That's right. The report attributes it mainly to the steady supply of BTO and sale of balance flats. It seems that with more new flats coming onto the market, the pressure on resale prices is easing slightly, which, for potential buyers, is actually quite good news, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. More options for people looking for their first home or even upgrading. It brings a bit more stability to the market, which is always welcome. So a slower growth but a more balanced market. I like the sound of that.
Exactly, and it's not just HDBs. The private residential sector saw a similar trend. Private residential prices grew at a slower pace of 3.4% in 2025. This is despite new home sales hitting a 4-year high.
Wait, slower growth, but new home sales hit a 4-year high? That sounds like a bit of a contradiction to me. How does that work?
It is an interesting dynamic, isn't it? It suggests that while demand for new private homes is strong, perhaps the previous rapid price increases were not sustainable, or the market is just digesting the new supply at a more measured pace. Buyers are still active, but they might be more price sensitive, leading to a moderated growth rate.
That makes sense. People are still buying, but maybe they are being a bit more selective or waiting for the right deal. What about the rental market, CS? That's always a big one for expats and even locals who are waiting for their BTOs.
The rental market, thankfully, appears to be stabilizing. The report mentions that with higher supply coming in, growth is set to cap. This is good news for tenants who faced soaring rents in the past couple of years.
Oh, thank goodness for that. I know so many people who were struggling with rental costs. A stabilizing market with more supply means a bit of breathing room for everyone. It's about time, really. So what's exciting on the new launch front this week? Any hot properties catching your eye?
Absolutely. The new launch promotion section has some interesting ones. First up, we have Nara Residences, starting from only $998,000 or $1,930 per square foot.
Wow, below $1 million for a new launch? That's pretty attractive in today's market, especially for first-time buyers or investors looking for a good entry point. And shops from $1,200,000 too.
Indeed. And for those interested, there's a VVIP viewing from January 17th to 27th. So if you're keen on Nara Residences, you should definitely book your slot now.
Good to know. What else is on the radar?
There's also Freehold Kovan Jewel, a 2-bedroom apartment going for only $1,380,000. The best part? It's freehold, a short walk to the MRT, and immediate move-in.
Immediate move-in and freehold near an MRT? That's a triple threat right there. For that price, it sounds like a steal for someone who wants to settle down quickly.
It certainly has its appeal. And for those looking for something in District 5, the Hillshore, which is also freehold, is offering up to a $390,000 discount.
A $390,000 discount? That's a significant amount. What are the prices like after the discount?
For a 3-bedroom unit, it starts from $2,650,000, which was originally $3,040,000. That's a pretty substantial saving for a freehold property in District 5.
That really changes the game for potential buyers, doesn't it? Big savings like that can make a huge difference. Now, if new launches aren't quite what our listeners are looking for, what about resale properties?
We've got the Bayshore in our resale property showcase. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath unit, 1,238 square feet, for $1,930,000. It's on a very high floor with unblocked views, and crucially, it's just a 3-minute walk to Bayshore MRT.
High floor, unblocked views, and a 3-minute walk to the MRT? That's the dream for many Singaporeans, especially for families looking for space and convenience. The Bayshore is a classic, really.
A solid option for sure. And for our listeners who are thinking beyond Singapore, we also have an overseas investment property showcase. This week, we're highlighting Riverscape 999-year leasehold London waterfront apartments.
London waterfront apartments with a 999-year leasehold? That sounds very enticing. What kind of facilities are we talking about?
It comes with clubhouse facilities, a supermarket, shops, and restaurants, all integrated. Prices start from £465,000. It's quite an attractive package for those looking to diversify their portfolio overseas.
Wow, a complete lifestyle hub right there on the London waterfront. That's definitely something to consider for the international investor. So CS, what's the one key takeaway from this week's Market Pulse for our listeners?
I'd say it's the theme of stabilization. Both HDB and private residential markets are seeing more moderate growth, and the rental market is evening out. It signals a more sustainable and perhaps healthier property landscape ahead.
I totally agree. It feels like the market is taking a breath, which can be a good thing for both buyers and sellers, creating a more balanced environment. That's all for today's podcast from My SG Prop. I hope you picked up something useful for your next property move. Don't forget to follow or share this episode with someone who's into real estate too.
More insights and new launch updates await you at mysgprop.com. Catch you next time.